Yo, what's good, guys? So I have a pretty good story time for you guys today. I think you'll enjoy this one. I haven't told a story time like this one in quite a while. I don't think I've ever told one like this one. So this story time is about a friend of mine and a friend's mom, okay? Specifically about something that she did. So I think you guys will enjoy this. Leave a like in the video if you do enjoy it. It'd be dope if we could break like 10k likes. And let's jump right into today's story time, alright? So this story time all starts off in 2017, okay? I was living in LA at the time, and I was kind of going back and forth between LA and New York. I was kind of just bouncing back and forth with my living situation. I would go out there for a couple months, then come back here for a couple months, and it would just, constantly cycle between that. And every time I'd come back to New York, I'd have this friend who I would mainly hang out with. Let's just call him Jake, okay? Now, Jake is a good friend of mine, all right? I've been friends with Jake since I was like 15, and we've been friends to this day. We've never had a falling out or anything. He's one of my best friends, I could say. And yeah, I still know him to this day, and he's probably watching this story time. So, Jake, if you're watching this, man, sorry, but you knew this story had to be told. You knew it from day one. But anyway, yeah, today's story time is about me, Jake, and Jake's mom. So anyway, starts off as a normal day in 2017. I was visiting New York for a couple months, and I was just hanging out at my house in New York, just chilling in my room, watching some Netflix, kind of figuring out what I was going to do that day. And Jake texts me. He's like, yo, you want to hang out today? You want to come to my house? I was like, yeah, what you want to do? He's like, well, right now my mom's making this big-ass dinner. If you want to come over and eat with us, and then me and you could go head out to this party later that my friend's having. And I was like, yeah, why not? That sounds fun. And I knew the friend that was having the party, so it wasn't going to be some like random party or anything we were pulling up to. So I go to Jake's house. I sit down with his mom, his dad. I kind of just catch up with them because I hadn't talked to them in a long time because I was living out in LA on and off. And yeah, I was just kind of sitting there at the table, talking to them, talking to my friend, just having a nice, wholesome, great family dinner with my not blood-related family. So after dinner's done, Jake tells his mom and his dad that we're going to this party for the night and we'll be back super late. And his mom was like, that's perfect because we're having a little party here ourselves, so it'll be nice to have some extra space in the house. So it was great. It all worked out perfectly. We had our own party. They were hosting their own. It was going to be fun, right? So me and Jake head out. We go to this party. The party wasn't that interesting. There wasn't actually that many people there that we knew, just a few. And for the most part, it was just like a normal average party, right? Not too boring, not too fun. We ended up leaving a little bit early. We were only there for like 2 hours. And Jake's like, yo, you want to go back to my house and just chill there with a few friends? And I was like, yeah, for sure. So we gather up the friends that we have at this party and we ask them if they want to come back to Jake's house. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. So we take the interesting people from the party and we go back to Jake's house to kind of have our own little bit of a party. So we all get to Jake's house. We had to cram in one car because some people were drinking, some people weren't. And we wanted to make sure everybody was safe. So we all stayed in one car and had a designated driver. We got to Jake's house. We go inside. We get in there and immediately there's tons of people there. Like tons of just adults and parents just like drinking wine around the table, being loud as hell, listening to Frank Sinatra. No hate there, by the way. Frank Sinatra is a fucking goat. But still, like they're just having a nice adult wine party, right? And Jake's mom is like off this planet. I don't know what she was on. Well, I do, but I didn't know at the time. She was like laughing super loud and like screaming and just being super upbeat, super energetic. And we walk in the front door and she's screaming like, Jake, it's Jake and his friends. Like, what's up, guys? And we go in there, we're like, hey, what's up? And she's like, oh, I love you guys so much. You're all amazing. Keep in mind, she only knew me and Jake. She never met the other people once in her life, but she was just saying she loved us so much and that we were so amazing. And Jake immediately asks her, he's like, Mom, what are you on? Are you drinking? And she's like, a little bit. And he's like, okay, maybe you should lay off the wine for the night. Like, you're a little bit out there. And she's like, I'm just happy. I love my family so much. You guys are the best. And Jake's like, all right, Mom, like, thank you. We're gonna go downstairs now. We're just gonna hang out in the basement. And she's like, okay, like, let me know if you guys need anything. So we go downstairs, we put on some music, and we're just kind of laughing about what just happened upstairs. Like, none of us have ever seen Jake's mom, like, that messed up ever. So it was just really funny and, like, surprising to see her just so outgoing and, like, party mode. And yeah, we're just kind of sitting down there listening to music, and all of a sudden we hear a super loud bang on the floor, like a super loud bang. Someone either dropped something super heavy or somebody just tripped and fell. So me and Jake run upstairs to see what happened, and Jake's mom is just lying on the floor, giggling super hard, pointing at the ceiling, and everyone's trying to help her up. And we run over there and we're like, what's going on? And she's like, I'm so silly, I tripped over. And she's pointing at the ceiling, just hysterically laughing at it at the same time. It was so confusing. So me, Jake, and Jake's dad help her up. We walk her over to the bedroom where she sleeps. We lay her down. And Jake's dad thanks us for helping out and that we can go back downstairs now. So that's what we do. We go back downstairs. We talked about how we just witnessed Jake's mom just lying on the floor, just like messed up. And then everything after that was a pretty normal night. We just kind of went about our business that night, just listening to music, hanging out with our friends. And And fast forward to the next day. So I wake up the next morning, well, afternoon I should say, probably about 1 p.m., on Jake's couch in the basement. I must have fallen asleep there on accident. And I wake up to Jake's mom yelling down the staircase. She's like, Austin, are you down there? Can you come up here? So I go upstairs, and Jake's just sitting there at the kitchen table with his dad eating lunch. And she's in the kitchen cooking lunch. And she goes, can you come here for a sec? And I was like, yeah, what's up? And I walk up there. And Jake looks over at me and smiles and goes, wait till you hear this one. And I go up to his mom. And she's like, Austin, I owe you and just everybody here a huge apology. I already talked to them about it, but I haven't talked to you about it. Basically, last night, I tried something I've never tried before. And it was a little bit too much for me, and I acted just insanely crazy. And I was like, what happened? Like, what was it? And she was like, well, have you ever heard of psilocybin mushrooms? And I was like, yeah, I know what those are. And she was like, well, you see, a friend of ours brought some over last night to our little party, and me and Jake's father took some of them, and I just ate a little bit too much, I think. And, mixed in with the alcohol, I just wasn't feeling very good. And I was getting a little crazy. And I'm just in my head thinking, like, holy shit. Like, this woman is one of the most straight-edge human beings I've ever seen in my life. Like, she got mad at me and Jake for anything under the sun that we would do. Like, even if we were out past curfew when we were kids, she would freak out. Like, she caught Jake drinking a beer once when he was 16 in the basement, and she grounded him for a month. Like, she did not mess around with that type of stuff. So it was just shocking to hear this dude's mom telling me that she did shrooms. Like, what? So I basically tell her that it's all good, like, no big deal, I don't mind. And I basically tell her if there's ever a next time to just be careful and, go easy on it. And she's like, yo, there won't be a next time, sweetie, don't worry. So anyway, what do you want for lunch? And I'm like, I'm not that hungry, but thank you. So I sit down at the table, and Jake just yells to her. He goes, hey, Mom, remember when you grounded me for a month for drinking beer? Yeah, you're grounded for a month for doing shrooms last night. And everyone just, like, awkwardly laughs. And yeah, after that, things were pretty normal. Just had a little normal lunch. And then I went home after that, back home. I walked inside, sat down on my couch, just kind of went on my phone for a little bit. And Jake texted me. He's like, yo, man, like, my bad you had to see all that this morning. Like, that was awkward as hell. I was like, nah, man, it's all good. Like, it's crazy that she did that. And he was like, yeah, man, I honestly just thought she drank too much wine. And I was like, yeah, whatever. At least we have an interesting story now. He's like, yeah, I bet you'll tell this on your YouTube one day, won't you? And I was like, maybe. He's like, all right, well, you have my permission. So yeah, Jake, if you're watching this, today's the day, buddy. But yeah, guys, I thought this story time was a crazy one, and I thought you guys would enjoy it. I hope you guys did. If you enjoyed this story time, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace. Waste my